Yes. Here we are. We're live. Here we go. We are live. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, can everyone hear me? I'm gonna see what's happening with my light on my face. Light on my face. Man, this light is like terrible. I need some light. Like that. That. Hey, hey, everybody. What you doing? Starting a live stream at exactly 7:03. 7:03, man. It's 7:03. So, it's all good. Yo, Jim O'Gara. What's happening, everybody? I hope everybody's good. We're gonna do a live stream tonight. It's the first one I've done. I don't know if I've first one I've done since the time change, but so make sure everybody can hear me loud and clear. If you can, just type in, and you're gonna see one thing which is so crazy. Hold on one second. You ready? Oh, come here. Watch this. Oh my lord. Tonight, JJ makes his debut. JJ on the live stream. JJ, he's right here. JJ is my son's cat. It's my oldest son's cat. So JJ's going to be hanging with us for a while. And so we got him in. Everybody say hey to. Yeah, that's right. Everybody say hey to JJ. You did make it. I see. So I got the window here. It's so crazy because it's daylight outside. I feel like I'm doing a live stream when I ought to be hanging out, cooking out, and all that good stuff, but I'm not cooking out. God, this light is so crazy, man. I feel like it's like hospital light. I'm going to adjust this. Y'all hang tight for a second. See if I can make the colors different. That's a little better. Yeah. Look. Oh. Huh, that's all right, I guess. I just don't need so much light on me. Better. Okay. So, and my glasses. I just got to have glasses to see comments. Hope everybody's been doing good. I have been doing good. I've been meaning to do a live stream, but it's been busy. My wife and I had our share of mishaps a couple of weekends ago. I had a scratch cornea, which I still have in my my eyeball, my left eyeball. And it was one of those things where I was like, wow, man, I can't hear. Well, I can't hear. It was like I couldn't hear. So I went to mix. I'm like, wow, I got to have my eyeballs. So you don't realize how dependent you get on screens and stuff, and your eyes when you mix, because you do have to see stuff. So I had that. Dude, it was so bad. It does hurt, man. It was so bad. And it was crazy because I was mowing and then all of a sudden I get like I get this. It does hurt, man. Hold on. I get this thing, it hits me in the eye, comes back from under my lawnmower. And it was just not cool, man. I was not digging it. Hit me right in the eyeball. I immediately lost all the vision in my left eye. Like it was just completely blurry, like so blurry I couldn't see anything. I mean, I couldn't see nothing. So anyway, that was fun. And then, but the day before that, it was not about me. The day before that, my wife fell, and it's so funny, man, when I tell people gotta mow with the safety squint. Well, yeah, now I gotta mow with safety glasses all the time. I mean, now I should have been mowing with safety glasses the whole time anyway. But I was not. So, that wasn't a lot of fun. But anyway, so I was gonna do a live stream. My wife almost broke her ankle. Yo, Kindred, let me get some toast to go down in Myrtle Beach, David Kindred. So I hope everybody's been doing good. What have you guys been into? Tell me what you've had going on. Anybody had any good music stuff happening? Any good recording projects happening? Anything like that? Just let me know. Just drop it in the comments. So I am in the process of possibly acquiring a really cool amp. And when I say in the process, I mean I've acquired it. It's here. We're just going to we're gonna work it out. So my cousin Kevin Knight, who I've known since, he's my cousin. I've known him since I was a kid. Kevin ordered in 1980, and I remember this is so funny. He was my dad's sister's son, my Aunt Ruth. And I have seen a lot of yours, Gail. I have seen a lot of your happenings. Anyway, so today I was very surprised by my cousin dropping by and not bringing it to me, but bringing, an amplifier. And I remember that amplifier because in 1980, he ordered that amplifier custom from Mesa Boogie. 1980. Jim O'Gare, you performed Europa and Black Magic Woman by Santana at your sister's wedding. Wow, that's awesome, man. Felt good to perform again. I bet. I don't know what that feels like because I have not in a couple of years, man. I mean, I probably haven't band gigged in a couple of years at least. I don't even know if I've band gigged post pandemic, but I need to really bad. Anyway, yeah, my wife busted up her ankle pretty bad, and I have a scratched cornea. So the live streams kind of stopped for a while. I was going to do one a couple of weeks ago, and I just didn't. So I have my Earthtones shirt on today. I want to make sure everybody's got their Earthtones shirts and got your patches if you wanted them, and stickers and all that stuff. But it's so funny that you said that you performed the Santana stuff. I received an amp today. Hey man, thanks, buddy, bro. And man, I have a thing of text messages to as far as scheduling. So Buddy Rowe was one of my text messages today to get people on the schedule. Aiden, yo man, it's my favorite video podcast too. We got to get back to doing it at the studio. Abraham's last day of school is Friday, and that means that he'll be back in for the summer, and I'm sure he'll be working and doing some stuff. He's ready to, go forward with his band and all that this summer. Anyway, yeah, hopefully we can do that again. We can do the podcast with both of us where we're playing, and I could actually plug a guitar in tonight and play if you really needed me to, but I don't think anybody needs me to. I got JJ right here beside me. You can't really see him. I picked him up earlier. Yeah, my wife had a busted up ankle. I had the scratch cornea. Not fun. And we made it through, and all was good. And it just kind of we had a lot of help from our oldest son. He took my wife to the urgent care. I was at work, and then he took me to the urgent care the next day. And they're like, "Hey, weren't you up here the day before?" And he was like, "Yeah, that was my mom." And I was like, wow, are we getting officially old where we fall and hurt ourselves and I can't mow the lawn with, hey, everybody say hey to JJ the cat. Tell him. Tell him. Can you give him a good meow? No? All right. That's okay. He's a good one. Yeah. Maybe that's right. You're right, Aiden. Maybe so, man. But so what was I going to tell you? Oh, this is important. Very important. It's important because my cousin, and when I say cousin, not like people go like, "Hey, cuz, what's going on?" We call each other cuz, but we really are, really is my cousin. So he comes by today and he says, "Hey, I've got a care package for you." That's the way that he let me put my glass. Man, I take my glasses back off. I take my glasses off because they're glaring everything up. And then, we got great news today about wife's cancer. Oh, good. Came back, no cancer detected on lymph nodes. Hallelujah, man. I was thinking about her today, so I'm so glad that you posted that. That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. That's great news. Great news. I don't even know what to say. It's such good news. So, so today my cousin says, "Hey, I got a care package for you," and he lives down around Lillington, and he was going to come up. He said, I'm driving to Eden, and I'm going to buy a guitar from a guy off of Marketplace or something like that. Hold on a second, guys. This is a new obstacle we have this time, and his name's JJ, and he just keeps jumping up on my Pro Tools table, and I can't stop him. I'm gonna have to put some netting up or something. Anyway, so my cousin says, "Hey, I've got this care package that I need to bring by," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm not right over my head, right? So he gets out of his car and he's got these two Behringer ultra gain tube mic pre's. I was like, cool, and we had talked about those before, so I was kind of stoked about it. And then, yo, Terry Von Cannon, yo, Haku Records. So he comes by today and he says, I've got this care package. He gets out of his truck and he's got these Behringer microphone pre's, which we had talked about, months ago. And I was like, hey man, that's awesome. I'm so like, hey, there's JJ right there. I was like, I'm so, I'm so grateful for that. And he was heading up to Eden to get a guitar, and he shows me this paperwork, and it was from 1980 from Mesa Boogie, and really cool paperwork, old paperwork from when he ordered this, this custom, everything back then, 79, 80, if you order from Mesa Boogie. He told me about his mom, that they went to the bank and they got a loan for this amp, and he had to pay back $60 a month for this amplifier, and he ordered an amplifier from California. You live in Lillington, North Carolina, and you custom order an amplifier, and it takes a year. He's like, the whole process was a year. Like, you order that, if I order that amp right now, it would be April of next year before I got it. It's a lot of dough, right? All right, JJ. And so then he's showing me the paperwork from this. I'm like, oh, it's cool. It's like 1980. It's all typed out and everything. And then he opens the back door of the truck and there's this road case. And he said, if you'll help me get it out, then I'm going to leave it here. And I was like, what? And he brought me a 1980 Mesa Boogie Mark II combo. I have a picture of it. Somehow I'm going to drag it into this chat. You'll be able to see it on the YouTube feed and possibly one of the other feeds, but I'll drag a couple of pictures in so you can see it. It's beautiful. It is in dang near pristine condition, man. Let me get this thing over here. Hold on a minute. There we go. Okay. Can I go? Is it showing up in the feed? No. All right, hold on a minute. Let me see if I can copy paste it. Yeah, so Mark II combo from 80, like the real deal. Let me see if I can paste the picture in here. Dang, I can't. Why can't I put any pictures in here? Paste. Come on. Why won't it let me put a picture in the chat? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if we can do it this way. This is the only way I think I can do it. I pull it up, pull the photo up on my phone. I'm just going to hold it up to the camera. You guys see that? Sorry about the ring light. And it's reversed. Oh, there you go. So that is a, let's see. That's a 1980 Mark II combo. You can see the crazy how it's almost like stamped into the faceplate. It's got the wicker. I need a 10-year-old to help. Yeah, to help carry it. Oh, to help with the tech. Very true. Very true. I do, man. I do. I need somebody to help. I thought I could put a picture in there. I can put links, but anyway, so that was a very exciting day for me today. I was stoked about that. First time watching on YouTube. Love that Mesa. Yeah, hey man. Jim, whoa, gonna have to come to Earthtones record solos rather than using IK Multimedia official Mesa Amplitude. You know what's so funny, man? And your phones really do listen to us, right? Our phones totally listen to us. What's so funny is after that today, my news feed has a has the Neural DSP. Neural DSP has a Mark II has a Mark II modeler, and it has a Mark II suite. And I was like, dude, this is like the real deal. You know, like let me see if I can oh gosh, why can't I put a picture? Man, I got like a fucking double chin. I gotta get on the exercise bike, son. Yeah, why can't I drag a picture into here? That's so strange. Maybe if I put it in the YouTube chat out of from my phone so you guys can see it. I mean, I'm sure everybody saw it right there. But anyway, yes. It's the real deal, man, and in a road case and everything. So I was stoked about that. Might see what we can work out on it would be awesome. And just the fact that I get to babysit it for a while. And it's so heavy. It's so heavy. It's why guys stopped. It's why guys went with, combos, and I mean smaller combos than that, and all that. Just not, it's so crazy. But I'm so grateful to him for doing that, because that was a complete surprise. And I'm just like, wow, awesome. And I'm going to be tracking with it hopefully soon. So anyway, so what's everybody else been into? I have been, I don't know what I've been doing besides a lot of stuff. We had a new song come out from Angelique. Let me find it, and I'll put the YouTube link in. I say we. All I did was record hold on a second, guys. Get out. JJ, seriously, man, you gotta get out. I gotta come here. All right. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. JJ, you gotta roll, bud. Go. All right, y'all hang tight. Go, buddy. Okay. That's better. Let me see if I can find Angelique Francis. That's her name. Sorry about that. Angelique Francis is her name. Ow. JJ, stop. Angelique Francis. There it is. Right there. I'm going to put a link. Stop. I don't want to play stuff. But I'm going to put a link to this in the chat if you guys just hold tight for a second. Ow. Okay. So if you'll check that link out, that's a link to the new Angelique Francis video called Train Coming, which Eric Gales played solo on. Amazing. Any word on the Gales Hunter record? Okay, so hold on a minute. That's not an official. Hold on one second, guys. All right, JJ, you gotta go. Gotta go. There's not an official. It's not an official word on any kind of record with Charlie and Eric, but there is a really great like Jubu. Oh yeah. There you go. Yep. So the Jubu record just came to where you can pre-save the first single. And I think the first single, let me look it up right quick and see what the first single says. You can save it, but that's all that we got going on. Let's see here. Hold on. You can save it, and I can put that link. I can put that link in the. I can put that link in the chat if I want to say. It's Little Village Records or Foundation. And there it is. Okay, cool. So copy link. So Little Village Foundation. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this link into here. Facebook gets weird sometimes if you're on it in a thing and then you pull it up to look at stuff. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry about this. So yeah, that the Jubu Smith record is coming out soon. The first single May 10th, which would be 11 days from now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it. Dang. Are you kidding me? I can't. Why can't you copy it? Oh, don't like that. Okay, I'm trying again. Share on a friend's profile. No. All right, so just go look it up and all the streaming stuff. Jubu Smith's new single is called Hamster Wheel. And I'm not exactly sure when we work on instrumental songs, getting a title for that stuff is always weird because you don't know, you're just kind of guessing at stuff. But yeah, so the Jubu, I don't think Hamster Wheel is the song with Eric on it. But it's okay. It's not that has anything to do with it being, whether that's good or not or whatever. All right, let me shut this window. It's driving me nuts. So the Jubu Smith, produced by Charlie Hunter, played by Charlie plays. I think he plays hybrid on it. Maybe, yeah, he plays hybrid on it, not just bass. So that's gonna be really cool. That's a killer record. And then the Angelique Francis that I shared above in the chat, it's in the YouTube and one of the Facebook, I think the Facebook Earthtones page. That's good. We recorded Eric's guitar solo. She's a Juno Award winner, which is like Canadian. It's the Canadian Grammys pretty much. And yeah, she's a Juno Award winner. And so that would be really cool if that'd be really cool to get, I don't pay attention to who wins Junos and who doesn't. Like the Grammys are pretty much our, in the United States, pretty much our thing. Like we see all that stuff, but I don't really see the Juno stuff, but it would be cool, if her song with Eric was nominated for something like that. That'd be cool to have an engineering credit on that. Anyway, it's killer. I mean, Eric's solo is just ridiculous, man. Like it's crazy. And he's got, and also too, the new Ghost Note record. You guys know Ghost Note with Mono Neon and Sput and all those guys. That is, jeez, this light is the worst, man. This light is terrible. I just don't like this light. Don't like it. Okay. The Ghost Note record with Mono Neon and Sput is coming out. Hot mustard. That's right, man. I say it's coming out. It came out like 2 weeks ago. We recorded Eric's guitar solo for the song called Grandma's Curtains, which was the first single they released. And I was like, yes. Those are crazy because those can easily get, Grammy nominated because there's so many categories in the Grammys. If you pay attention to them and the TV broadcast is so narrowed in on just pop stuff, like popular. And every now and then they used to throw, remember when the Grammys used to be more of like, they would try to take that TV broadcast and they would try to culture you, right? They would try to kind of say like, okay, let's culture this guy and let's have like, let's show this guy that's going to listen to all this crazy music. Let's show him a classical piece, right? They just don't do that. I mean, every single act is a pop act. And I guess because it's more about the TV ratings at that point than it is about, culturing the society about different kinds of music that they might not listen to. And that's a lot of like, that's a lot of what the Grammys has become, is just pop as far as the TV broadcast. But then the so the Grammy thing, like all the categories, like that that Ghost Note record, it could easily be nominated for a like jazz instrumental, because now the jazz, like when it used to be when we were kids and it was jazz instrumental, it was all the standard guys. Right now, like instrumental or jazz instrumental or anything, I was going to try to win a Grammy for best polka album, but they got rid of that category before I could write. Did they really get rid of that category? I was talking to somebody the other day about categories like this. Like, it's crazy because it's like, we got, was lucky enough to work on Eric's record, which got nominated for best contemporary blues album 2022 Grammys, which was not this past Grammy, but the Grammy before, which is awesome. And then my buddy Charlie Hunter, he's been nominated 2 of the past 3 years with Kurt Elling. Didn't work on any of that, but he was nominated. So it's crazy because you look at these categories now and you're like, aha, that's the way they do it. That's the way you do it. You have, yeah, dude, you got to bring back the polka, man. I was talking to somebody the other day and I said, people don't realize how many categories there are in the Grammys that you just don't. How you like my new camera that just like zoomed in on me? I love it. It's awesome. I have this AI camera. Anyway, so there's so many categories you don't really realize it. And when you get into TV and film, have I heard anything about BMI writers having not get paid since BMI sold? No, I haven't heard anything about that. But I do know this, and I know we had a big talk about this last live stream, maybe, that that, you know, BMI had to go. BMI had to become a for-profit business. I did not know that it was a nonprofit previously. But it had to become a for-profit business, and we may have mentioned this before, but I will mention it now. And I'm sorry to hold this mic, but if I don't, it just sits like right there, like it's on my nose. So I'm holding it because it's got a spring. It's got a crazy spring in this that I'm sure I can adjust the tension on, but I do not know how to do that quite yet with this new contraption. So I'm just going to sit here and hold it. I do like this new camera though. It follows me around. Wow. All right. Do I have a Discord? I do not have a Discord. I should probably think about that. Tell me about Discord. Is it basically like a where I just can post stuff like what I'm talking about now, like tips and tricks and all that? And you know what else I've thought about, man? I don't have a Patreon. Would a Patreon be something that anyone in this chat would be willing to pay? I think I think that's like $5 a month. You can set your whatever. I don't really have a Patreon because I like to do these for free. I could record all of these if I wanted to, and then I could post them on Patreon. And I do. I have a podcast, and I've done episodes of it, but I just haven't done any episodes lately. I really need to get back on that. Zoom, YouTube, AOL video, you can do whole sessions and people can screen share. There's a live chat like this. No, but I need to look into that, man. I really do. Anyway, so the BMI thing, thank you for mentioning that. So the BMI thing is the BMI thing is more or less they had one for years, lucky to 4 people's at $5. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, man, is if I did a Patreon and you had 10 people and you made $50 a month, you know, or something like that, it's fair enough. I mean, I don't know how much content I could actually put on it because I just don't. I'm working all the time, and when I'm working, I'm not really video recording stuff or anything like that. So I'd feel like I'd fall behind, like I fall behind on these things. An Earthtones Discord would be great. I would sub. Okay, cool. Aiden, maybe you can help me. Maybe you can help me get that started because that would be really cool. It's just one of those tech things, man. I get so, like today, it's like I was talking to my oldest son on the phone today, and I was just like, man, I can't, we were talking about not being able to get motivated to do certain things. And I just said, I can't get motivated to do, not that I can't get motivated. A lot of times it's distractions. You get so distracted doing other stuff. All producers collabing, etc. Let's see, but started Discord last month. Got 100 plus diehard people in there. That's great, man. That's great. That's awesome. I need to really do that and just stick to it. It would be cool. Give me 1 second. I gotta figure this stupid light out. There's a light in my corner. Hold on a second. Is it doing anything? Nope. Give me 1 second, guys. Because this light on this shot is driving me insane. That's why I don't have a Patreon, because I couldn't make this double look right on there. All right, give me 1 second. Let me find this controller thing for this light. Okay. That's good. That's better. I think we can work with that. Okay. So, BMI, pretty much, they were a for-profit. Derry Gurley, how was the mix, man? Was it okay? Okay, let's see here. Aiden says he'd be happy to help. I really would always be a great resource. He's ran a couple of Discord servers. That'd be great, man. That's definitely what I need somebody to do. 45-minute beat battle in Discord right now. Oh, nice. You get the people into the Patreons. Your plan. Okay. Hey, Hans, how are you guys? How you doing, man? Are you back across the water yet? Or are you Are you still here with us stateside? Anyway, so I'm just trying to get this. I bought this stupid new light. Call it a stupid new light. It's got this stupid new light in the corner. It's driving me insane. I think that's fine. Leaving tomorrow. Okay, safe travels, my friend. Yeah, you guys put any of that. Have I had any cool hangs at my studio lately? Well, Eric and the crew came and headed out Monday morning, maybe. Remember? And they headed out on tour. And they were heading out to New Orleans, I think, maybe. I didn't know they were coming in. No, actually, I did know they were coming in. I'm sorry. That's we had to do a little quick video clip for something for and Keith LeBlanc. I felt so bad, man. I don't know if you guys know Keith LeBlanc, drummer. He and Eric and TM Stevens were in a band together. Eric Gales and TM Stevens and Keith, and we had recorded some stuff for Keith last year or year before or something. And man, Keith passed away like 2 weeks ago or a week ago or something. And he had cancer for a while. Yeah, he has been playing the hell out of that guitar. He took it up. Did he take it up to the thing with the mono? So Eric Gale is telling me in the chat, if you guys can't see it, that Eric Gales. So if you guys are following along at home, if you're following along, you have to notice that there's a gentleman in the chat, and his name is Eric Gale, no S. It is not Eric Gales with an S. But we all know each other. He didn't have it with mono. Okay. I thought he said he was going to take it with him, but, Eric Gale and Eric Gales are both now great friends of mine, and Eric Gale makes guitars for Eric Gales. Does that make sense? It gets a little confusing. Badass guitar builder. Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. So yeah, we had a great hang a few weeks ago. I guess that was 3 or 4 weeks ago, right, Eric? And Eric brought the awesome new, what do you want to call that guitar? Does it have a name? I know the first one is the Crown guitar. The first one that Eric made, he just called the Crown guitar. And basically they did a crown in the back behind the bridge, like an inlay, and the guitar is awesome, man, like so incredible. The 1019. Okay. So he brought a guitar by that he had made, and Eric met us there, and Eric Gale and his lovely wife came, and we met a few Saturdays ago, and he presented him with this new guitar, and incredible guitar. Just the work on it is gorgeous, man. So that was awesome. And I get to hang and see, I get to hang and play these guitars, which is fun for me, getting to play a lot of this stuff. Nobody's making it, you know what I mean? Like I'm there just really facilitating the studio and doing my thing with that. And it's it was a great hang, man. And that was fun, and getting to play those guitars. And then, of course, I'll get Eric Gale to make me a Git fiddle one day. That would be awesome. But the guitar is amazing, man. I mean, it's beautiful. It's really light. How did you, tell us what wood that you made it out of again, and tell me how much it weighed. I know it was weighed, because Eric's got a bad back. So, anything light. But Gales also has a new vault, and he was telling me, he was like, check out the vault. And I was like, vault? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, we went out to the equipment trailer that they haul behind the bus, and sure enough, here was yes, let's do an Earthtones guitar. Oh my lordy. Oh my God, man, that'd be amazing. Like, get me on the bike and get rid of this double chin. stop drinking too many IPAs and get off the grill and get on the Peloton, man, and make me it's Paulonia with the Sinker mahogany top cap. You told me the Sinker mahogany. I learned about Sinker mahogany from George Groon. You can laser the skull into it. Well, okay, so here's another tip for everyone, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. Maybe we'll do it on my Discord, or maybe we'll do it right here. But the hawk has got to make a comeback. As much as I love having thick, luxurious long hair, I don't know how luxurious it is. I grew it back out a couple of summers ago just because I could, and I was just like, I can, man. Like I can grow my hair out. I'm 56. I'm not bald. So, but I think I got to cut the hawk back because this is just driving me insane. It's in my face. I got it pulled back in a man bun right now, and it's just like I grow it out, and it's like there's no sense in it. So, we if we do a live mohawk cutting on this live stream, would you watch it? And if you would, that would be hilarious. I got a buddy of mine who I may get to cut it if he can, but also Abraham's girlfriend. You feel it. The older you get, you just want to shave your head. I'm telling you, man. I saw a picture of myself from 3 years ago with the mohawk today. And I was like, shit, I need to cut the hawk back, man, So, but anyway, I may do that. But a guitar would be killer. I've thought about doing a line of pedals because I have a couple of people who I know I could get to make them. I know that the Keeley guys, you guys know Robert Keeley at Keeley Pedals, Keeley Electronics. Yeah, I would totally live stream getting the mohawk cut in a second, but I'd have to announce it like 2 weeks in advance so everybody would tune in, and I'd have to put up like a, for whoever was cutting it, I'd have to put up like a Cash App and be like, okay, no more razor until we get $10 more. What kind of pedal would I make first? You know what, man? That's a really good question because I have a guy, Onkel Pedals, Onkel. Let me find them and put their link in the chat. Hold on 1 second. Onkel amplification. This guy is so awesome, man. He was previously one of the co-owners of one of those beer places downtown. I can't even remember what it's called because I'm so out of downtown now. A Fuzz. Yeah, definitely. Well, I still got yours sitting out here in the box downstairs at my house, man, and I need to hook that thing up. I should really have a live guitar now and play a little bit, but I really want to wait till Abraham comes back in and we can do some of that, stuff we were doing before. Check that link out that I put, Onkel Amps. He will make me, he's like, I'll make you whatever you want. I can powder coat them, can do that. Robert Keeley also has a custom shop, and he will custom finish anything. Now, I don't know that he's going to custom circuit me anything because that would be super expensive. Even the custom stuff from them would be super expensive, which is fine. I don't mind, I don't mind that. I just don't want it. If I'm going to have a pedal and go like, okay, I want to have a pedal for sale at the studio. Again, if you're looking at the shirt, I got them at the studio, and I got the patches at the studio, and I've got the stickers. So patches are $5. I can put my Cash App in the. I really hate when people do that. I can put I think my Cash App is Earthtones recording, maybe. Let me see. But I can do that if anybody needs the Cash App anything. It's let me find it. I'm so bad. I think it's just $ Earthtones recording. Yeah, the powder coats are really clean. So the uncle guy, man, he made me 3 or 4 different pedals, brought them to me, had a clone. Is just KLONE, which is pretty cool. It sounds amazing. Made me a Shinai fuzz, and he made me another fuzz, and he made me an amp, desktop amp that's really cool. And it's a Bassman circuit, I think. And if I got them made, I would love to do them with the, like you said, with like the skull, like the hawk logo on it, maybe, or something. But I don't know. I like my favorite distortion pedal is a pedal from Ibanez called the Tube King, and it's got a two. It has a 12AX7 in it. It's got the you need a custom dude pedal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. so so um the uncle guys, man, they would make me. They want to. He was like, "I'll make you whatever you want. You just dream it up and tell me, and we'll do it." I was like, "Okay, cool." But then I couldn't. I couldn't really come up with anything. I'd like to get something that's in the vein of a pedal called a Tube King, and it's an Ibanez pedal. It's a gold square pedal, and I bought mine in 19. I don't know, 95, 96 ish, something like that. Um, yeah, the Tube King is great, right? If I could get him to do one of those with a true tube in it and a circuit, it's a BK Butler circuit. When I take my Tube King apart, I took it apart years ago to do something, and the circuit board inside says designed by BK Butler. So if you've ever seen, the real tube, they make the real tube BK Butler, and then the tube driver, I think they call it. Those BK Butler pedals are really cool, and I've got one of those too. Um, and I find so I'll give you a tip. And this is how, like, people are just like, "Man, you buy a lot of pedals," and it's like, I do. I'm fortunate that I get some sent to me. People are cool enough to send them to me, and I'm so fortunate. Eric Gale brought me one that he made, and I'm so like, "Man, this is awesome." It's actually, I should get up and go get it and show it to you guys right now, but I don't wanna just run off the screen. Um, but, uh the Tube King is so cool, but we bought, like I said, I bought one of these BK Butler real tubes, um, or tube driver or whatever it's called. And what I do is I go to, if you guys go online to Guitar Center, it is like the greatest used gear, and it's like Sanford and Son of used gear, man. I mean, they have everything, pedals, guitars, everything, and they take everything and congregate it from all the guitar centers in the country, and they put it all on the website so you can follow it. You can kind of go like, and then you can set your account up. And it's not like I'm not shilling for Guitar Center or anything. I love it, but you know, but if you want to find out, there was a big article, some big post this past week about, I think Bonamassa, somebody made some stupid post about Guitar Center being full of like $300 guitars, or something silly like that. I'm like, well, yeah, man. I mean, what's a kid gonna, you know, kid's not gonna walk in with $1,000 in his pocket and want his first guitar. Like your first guitar, I think your first guitar's got to be a $300 guitar. It's got to be something that's just not going to play itself. It's going to make you work. Um, so that's just my thing. But what I do is we go through Guitar Center. I go online and I use GC Pro to buy studio gear with. So I accumulate a lot of like points or rewards, they call them, when you use your um, GC Pro account card. Your account has a card. So it's like anytime you put anything on your account, it's not like you're using an actual card, but anything you do that, you get points for it, just like you get frequent flyer miles. So what they'll do is they'll send me an email and say, "Hey, you got $150 to spend at Guitar Center." I'm like, "Oh," I don't think about it, but then I do. So then I'll go online and be like, "Okay, what have I been looking for? What can I find for $150?" Last week I found was it a Dan Echo? No, I don't think it was a Dan Echo. I found a Demonic Machines. I don't know if you guys know them. Really cool. And the guy just had some hardships, like something got flooded. And pedal company called Demonic Machines. Treble booster I bought from them, and I also bought this Ibanez distortion pedal. I think I put it on my Instagram. This orange reissue that they're doing. Get the GP100 multi effects. Yeah. Man, you wouldn't believe the downside of all those old multi effects. I have a couple of them sitting here in a rack in front of me, as a matter of fact. I have my old Digitech 2001 from God, I had that thing in 90, maybe 91, 90, 91, something like that, maybe even 89. Only problem about those things is they're so noisy, man. The old ones are so noisy, but they do that thing, man. They have that chorus effect. I used to play with chorus effect on my distorted guitar and everything, and I heard a Steve Vai riff off of a David Lee Roth record recently that was the same thing. I think it's song's called, his first song off Skyscrapers called Knucklebones. That effect that he's got on the guitar while he's playing that intro riff, it's the exact thing that I used to use that my Digitech for. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. But the BK Butler pedal I bought recently because I had $150 Guitar Center rewards points or something like that. So I picked it up for like $120, man. I mean, and those are classic pedals. They'll hold their value. And that's kind of, I mean, I want something that's like super quirky or something that's going to hold its value. I keep scouring Guitar Center for Nobles pedals because I have two of the ODR ones and they're worth a mint now. And I bought mine $29, I don't know how many years ago, but I paid $29 for them. And then that I like the way the Nobles pedals look when they match up and I put them on the shelf. I'm not OCD or anything, but I kind of like them. It's pretty cool. So if I had a pedal made, I don't know. I mean, if I had pedals at Earthtones and I said, hey man, here's a great pedal and you're using it and it was a fuzz, and say I had them 5 deep in the box, brand new. Like you're playing this one, hey man, you can buy it and you can just take it home. Would you do it? I think that's how a lot of pedal companies, they want, they approach you about I mean, I actually approach them, but when they'll give you an endorsement deal, first electric guitar was a 70s Sakova. Oh yeah. Yeah, I bet that was what? $100? 150? Maybe. I mean, it's 1970s $100, but so anyway, yeah, if I did that and I had pedals, I had Earthtones pedals, I had the Earthtone fuzz, or I had the ET fuzz one or something. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to come up with some crafty names for them or something. And they were a certain circuit, but maybe something I didn't like about that circuit that had something added to it. I would want to say that the circuit's kind of cool, but it's got to have something unique to it or a problem fixed. If I want to go like, hey man, I'm going to make that $75. 75 TV. Yeah, man. $75 for the Sakova 1970. That's big money in 1970, $75, man. I wasn't messing around. Anyway, so if we did pedals, they'd be there, it'd be just like the t-shirts and the patches and all that stuff, they'd have that, but I'd have to make them, it'd have to be unique somehow. I've thought about, like I say, with the Keeley Custom Shop, Keeley has this pedal called a, let me find it and I'll put it in chat. Keeley Electronics. Hold on, guys. Oh, and have you guys seen the new Keeley pedals they have called, what are they called? They're called the 4-in-1 series, and they're crazy, man. They're really cool. You got to check those out. Anyway, I'm going to put a link to this pedal they have called the Synth One. And it's incredible. There's a really great demo on the website of this pedal. The Sakova was crap. Your first real electric was your Mustang. You don't still have that Mustang, do you? Tell me you do. Okay, so that I'm going to put that link in there to check out the Synth One wave distortion and chaos fuzz. it's like that old like "Brr, brr, 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 brr," like it's like a mono synth kind of like you can't. It's not polyphonic, but you can play like individual notes on it. Really killer. It's got a great demo video in that link that I sent. Uh so anyway, um I would actually have Keeley if I, I don't know how much they cost, but I would have Keeley do me a custom shop finish on one of those just because I like the pedal. I think the pedal's cool. I've been wanting to get one, but I mean they're kind of expensive. And what you'll learn about Keeley is they have a custom shop. And if you go to their custom shop, let's see if we can find a link to their custom shop. I love those guys are so cool. They're the nicest guys in the world. They took me and Abraham out to lunch last summer. We went by and they were just the coolest people. Robert Keeley is one of the most down to earth dudes. And Aaron, his artist relations guy, excuse me, his artist relations guy is so great. I am going to put a link. I'm going to put another link in here to their custom shop. And their custom shop, they will actually, there you go. I forget that I have this and I can put it up on the screen. Rob hooked you up with a switcher once. Tell me which switcher it was. Tell me which switcher it was. Because if you do, and it's the same one I did, I'll tell you a story about the Keeley guys. Tell me was it the effects loop switcher? Was it the one that you can loop and you can cut an effects loop on and off a pedal effects loop? That's the one that I have. It's just called, I don't even know what it's called. It's a loop. It's a loop. It's called like an effects loop pedal, but it's not a looper pedal. Like you can't record into it, but your guitar goes through it. It's a mini size pedal and your guitar goes through it. It's got an in out, but it's got a send and a return on it. So you can put your whole pedal board on it. Snooze actually hooked me up. You guys know Snooze. Snooze actually had one of those for an old pedal that he had. And I bought one from Keeley years ago. Probably 20 years ago, I bought this pedal. It was an AB. Okay, cool. But anyway, I bought that. And when we were out they're in Oklahoma City, or maybe Edmond or something. Anyway, it's just like, Edmond and Oklahoma City are like they're like Jamestown and High Point. They're like 3 miles from each other. The purple one. Okay, cool. So I had this effects loop pedal, this Keeley effects loop pedal that would let you put your pedal board on a loop and you could cut the whole thing. It was really cool because you could set up multiple pedals, right? You could set up multiple pedals to be your next switch and you turn it on and you've got a chorus and a delay and you're not tap dancing so much, So I could be playing and singing and then cut these pedals on and then turn the effects loop on. And it was cool and it didn't bog down. Like I normally like my guitar going straight into the amp. And that way it's just, and it keeps all the pedals. If they, normally, if say they don't have true bypass or anything like that, it keeps them from draining your signal. Anyway, I love that pedal and I thought it was genius. And it really kind of set up a whole thing for me to be able to do what I did. And I didn't really know that was a possibility. We were talking to them. I said, so they were all we were all standing in the office. I think we were standing in their promo guy's office or something. And they were introducing me and we were all talking and they said, so what's your favorite Keeley pedal? And I said, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I said, I don't have any Keeley pedals. I said, the only one that I have about 20 years ago. And I said, do you know what pedal it was? And he looked and said, no. And I said, it was the true bypass looper for your pedal board. And they all went, because apparently Robert hated having to make that pedal. I don't know why he hated it, but it was like an office joke or something. It was crazy. It was hilarious, man. So I started laughing, we all started laughing about it. So they didn't really like that. I don't know why they didn't like that pedal. I still have mine. It's a genius pedal. It's awesome. But anyway, so the Keeley guys custom shop, we were really privy to the custom shop a year ago, last July. They have a whole powder coat room. They will do any kind of custom. We saw this guy had this guy had a crazy custom finish on his, and it was like powder coated, but it was like a scene of him like bass fishing or something. And I was like, who's got the money to do that? So it was really cool. And I was like, man, I should get Keeley to make me one of their pedals, but then do like a custom finish on it. So their custom shop that I just put in the on the screen there, the link to that, their custom shop is killer. And if you keep an eye on that or keep an eye on their socials or whatever, they will make a certain run of pedals and they'll have them in there, man. And you go and it'll tell you how many they got left in stock. Like they'll put up a custom shop thing. And sometimes you'll go to it an hour later and they're all gone, but very cool. And I like having like collectible pedals like that. I mean, I like having them functional. I don't want to buy like a bunch of pedals just because they look a certain way, but if they're gonna hold their value or whatever, I like them to be a little collectible and a little eccentric or whatever. And there's so many custom, excuse me, boutique pedal people now that make make crazy pedals like that. So okay, so it is 8:04. Anybody got any other questions? I feel like I didn't answer a lot of stuff. Oh, I had 5 cues placed this past week or purchased this past week. 5 TV cues for something. I don't know. There's an NDA I signed with companies and they'll buy them from you, but they don't tell you where they're used. And I'm kind of like, whatever, just cut the check. So I had 5 of them picked up, and crazy. Two of them were like orchestral. They're very like they call the category like dramedy, like a drama comedy. And so it was a dramedy category, and the spec for it was, that they wanted pizzicato strings, and pizzicato is basically like, you're picking like if you're picking a violin, finger pick your violin instead of use your bow. So so I just wrote some melody lines and like fleshed it out orchestrally. And those got bought, and I'm like, wow, I'm like it's like scoring. It's like scoring. It's not a guitar. There's no guitar, bass, drums in it, maybe, but I use everything. Like if I use sample packs and I'm doing something like that, I try to use sounds that are out of just an orchestra. Like a lot of times I'll have an orchestral sample bank, that works and it's really cool, except people want to add like makes things modern sometimes, and it's like really most of the time they want that stuff to sound like it's being played by an orchestra. So I'll only use drums or percussion out of whatever the orchestra pack is. Like in an orchestra you're going to have a bass drum, but most of the time you're not going to have a drum kit. You'll have the big bass drum that they hit with the mallets, that. Congratulations on the sale. Can I hold $5 till Friday? John Dawson wants to know. Can he hold $5 till Friday? Thanks, man. You can actually. You can hold a 5 until Friday. It's crazy because there's a company that I freelance through, and they will either buy them outright, and what they do is they put them up for sale, or they put them out there, and the TV companies, the production companies or shows will buy them if they're just like, that's perfect, and they'll buy them. And if they don't, it doesn't mean they're bad. It just doesn't fit what they're looking for at the time. And so then what you do is you put them in your library, and then somebody else will buy them, so you write according to spec. Sometimes there's no pay on the back end of these. And I think I did a March Madness one. I think I probably talked to you all about, and I'm actually doing one now that they wanted modern choral music. And the spec was like this Sam Smith tune. The one that everybody was like, he's a devil worshiper. And I was like, oh, please, man. So it's a Sam Smith tune, that has all this like, boot to boot at the body shop. Boot, boop, 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 boop. I was like, I can do that, but except when I do the stuff like that's got vocals on it, I have to sing everything, or I have to rap it, or do whatever. And it's so funny, man, because they'll be like, "Is this you singing?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'm not going to pay anybody else to do it." So, I'm working on one of those for something. I don't know what you can see, sometimes you can see trends like coming up, like if they ask you for, here's a spec and it has to have the words madness and blah 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 blah. You're like, well, obviously that's NCAA playoff, but it can be used anywhere. I mean, if you write one that doesn't necessarily get used for that and you put it in your library, it's like people could pick it up. Then you do the instrumental versions of it and all that. But golly, man, I mixed a record. I mixed a great record. I finished and mixed a great record from a band called Old Man Fight Club, and they're really cool. They like that band Bad Religion. They sound a lot like Bad Religion. The songs are real hooky, kind of pop punky stuff. I did 7 songs. I recorded 7 songs from them a while back and just got it off to mastering to Mr. Tabor last week. And then let's see. I'm sorry. It sounds like somebody's knocking on my door, but it's the cat. And I'm not gonna let him in because he keeps jumping up on my monitors. Gosh. Oh, Derek Early, who was on the chat earlier. I finished mixing a song from him today, and Josh West is on it, and it's really killer. They sent me guys like that just make me sick, man, because they record at home and they'll send me the demo. They'll be like, here's a demo of it. And I'll listen to it and I'm like, why are you coming to me to record? It sounds great. You should release the demo. But then we do it up and it sounds really good. The final version sounds really big. So it was awesome. And we used my Sovtech MiG 50H and my Universal Audio Aux and they had a killer Gretsch guitar that they use, and Josh uses Fender bass. It's great. Anyway, song's great. So hopefully I'd love it if they released it. A lot of times I work on stuff and maybe it doesn't get released, or maybe it's just demo stuff. I mean, this is a little more than a demo. That's killer. I don't know what else. I finished up an audiobook last week for somebody. I really have a whole record in the can, which I need to start getting ready to release. But again, it's like just thing after thing after thing coming up. So I think I'm going back to LA. And the reason I'm going back to LA is because, and I'm only going to talk about it here, is Eric is playing in LA in July with Slash and with Samantha Fish and with who else is on that gig? It's Slash has this great festival, and I'm going to put it in the chat here. It's called, Slash is going to put a, let's see here. There it is. Let's go here. And I'm going to copy this link. And I'm going to put this link in the chat and I'm going to pop it up on the screen. Yeah, that's not a bad reason to go, right? I told Eric, I said, dude, I'm just looking for a reason to get back to LA because I was at NAMM and I loved it. And I hadn't been out there in 20 some years. And I've been twice in the past. I mean, we've been to Hollywood twice in the past year and a half, maybe something like that. Very fortunate to be able to do that. But check out this link. That Slash Online News kind of thing is going to tell you. Slash is putting out a blues. Oh, is he really learning pedal steel? That's really cool. Slash is putting out a blues record, and it is called like Orgy of the Damned or something like that. And because I was wondering, I was like, why does this whole tour? Because Eric told me about it. And I was like, oh, cool. It's a festival, right? And I'm thinking a festival nowadays, a festival is literally like, it's like one gig, right? A festival, right? This is a festival tour. So they have Slash as the opener. I mean, Slash is the opener. Slash is the headliner. And then 3 blues bands
playing before him every date. And Eric is on six or eight of them. So I looked, and LA is one. So we're gonna go out there and catch that show, and I'm gonna take my family, and um that'll be my how I spent my summer with in LA. Slash-a-palooza. I guess it is Slash-a-palooza. I don't know if I'll meet him or not. It'd be really cool if I did. I'll be like, hey man, I just bought one of your amplifiers from 1996. You know, they don't make I don't think they make the Slash amps anymore. Oh, he just did a Magnetone. He just did a Magnetone amp. But I've got the JCM Slash. I think I've probably shown you guys that somehow, somewhere. But yeah, so yeah, Slash-a-palooza. It's called the Serpent. It's called the Serpent Tour, SERPENT, and it's like an acronym. I do not know what that stands. Oh, I do know what it stands for. It stands for Solidarity, Engagement, Restore, Peace, Equality, and Tolerance. I'm like, I'm down with that. So, really incredible. Let's see, serpentfestival.com. Let's copy the link address and I'll put that in there too. So check that out. That'll be fun, you know. That'll be awesome. And again, it's not like I'm a massive Slash fan. I just think it's really cool. I think it's really cool that these guys are they're all finally finally coming to the table when it comes to Mr. Gales. You know, the majority of us in this chat and in this thing talking, we know. I mean, we've known what's up for years. And it's so funny, man, because I remember after I don't think Eric had moved here yet. No, as a matter of fact, I know he hadn't moved here yet, but it was whenever he played the Experience Hendrix tour that was here at the War Memorial Auditorium back in before War Memorial got torn down. He played that year. I don't know what year that was. Maybe somebody can tell me that. But he was on the Experience Hendrix tour, and I want to say, I think Eric Johnson was on it that year. Maybe I don't think Satriani was on it that year, but and man, it's so funny, man. All these blues cats that I know from around here that just like blues, they're like really traditional blues guys, and all they do is listen to blues, and they kind of like turn their nose up at like rock. You know, there's a lot of blues dudes around here, and I'll be straight up with you, man. When it gets into like shred guitar, they kind of like look down their nose at it, frown on it. I'm like, bro, I gotta respect everything, right? All the talk the next day after that show was about Eric Gales losing their minds. And I just remember being like, everybody's like, oh my God. And I'm like, where have you been, man? I mean, you know, where have you been? We were all on that train. I was on that train, record number one, you know, but he had come back out, you know, and he had cleaned himself up and gotten on that tour and really was just destroying it. And everybody lost their mind. And so then they booked him at the Blues Festival here. Those of us who have been knowing about him since he came out as a kid are not surprised by his playing. People need to get with you. Yes, you are exactly right. I will put that comment up there, man. Yeah, you're exactly right. So anyway, so they booked him at the Blues Festival the following year, you know. I mean, and like I say, everybody lost their minds at that Experience Hendrix thing. And I'm like, dude, come on. Like I remember the Sign of the Storm video. I was my now wife. I was at her house. She was my girlfriend, and they had MTV. I don't think we had MTV at home here in Greensboro yet. But they had MTV, and I remember seeing MTV. I remember seeing the video for Sign of the Storm, and I had seen him in all the guitar magazines and all that stuff. And it's so funny. I tell him about this stuff all the time. I'd seen him in all the guitar magazines and all that crazy stuff. And then all of a sudden this kid comes on and he's playing and he's on a video on like Headbangers Ball or whatever it is. And I was like, okay. Now I see what's up, man, and I went and bought the record the next day, you know? It's amazing how MTV marketing worked, man. I mean, you'd see the guy and you'd hear the song and you'd go like, you know, see the band and hear the song and just go like, "Okay, there it is." And then, you know, and then that was it. So, and you go out and buy it. And so I went out and bought the record the next day. I bought the second one. Um, and you know, there's a I'll tell you what, there's an episode of my podcast that I did that I'm gonna put a link to for you guys to go check out. Um, Let me find it right quick. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. Videos. Let me see. Yeah, this is really great. And what's crazy is I've done, you know, multiple interviews with people. Charlie Hunter's has 10,000 views. Eric's has 604. I'm gonna actually put this in the chat right now, and Eric will tell you a lot in this, yeah, go to that link right there. That's the Eric Gales episode of Conversations in Groove podcast that I did a couple of years ago with him. He was kind enough to do it on a morning, and he just came in and I just hit him with questions and the story. I wanted a whole story from the whole thing. So, he's got, he'll tell you in there that when they did the second record, they when they turned in the second record, there wasn't a lot of they didn't the record company didn't like it, and they had to go back and rewrite. Uh, and he tells the whole story in there, but he said, man, he said that really like it messed me up. It wasn't cool. I didn't like that. He said as a kid, it messed with my head that they didn't like the record, that they didn't like what I was doing. And he said, and I didn't, he said, I wasn't, he said he wasn't equipped to deal with that at that age. And I said, I get it, you know? So, anyway, he'll tell you about the whole thing in there. Okay, guys, it's 8:19. I put the video up of us at your studio. Oh yes. 40,000 views. Right on. Oh, I know. That's what blows my mind, man. He doesn't necessarily have to plug into an amp. Doesn't that blow your mind? But okay. My voice is getting a little raggedy. And I'm getting a little hungry, and I got a cat meowing outside my door. So until next time, I'm going to go. I appreciate everybody hanging out and watching, because this is so much easier for me to catch up on stuff like this and talk about details of things and questions and stuff than just making posts and doing reels and doing all this, you know, stuff. It's so much easier for me to knock it all out like once a week or once every 2 weeks, and do this. So I appreciate all you guys watching. Tune in next time. Let's follow me on all the socials and all that good stuff. I'm over on Instagram. I'm on the X. Thank you, man. Eric, thank you so much for everything, man. And give your wife my love. And I will see you guys all very, very soon. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to the Esteemed Colleagues Facebook group. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram at Benji Tunes, BenjyTunes. Thank you, Hans. I appreciate you watching, man. And we'll do this every week or two. I'll try to, if I look at my schedule and I go like, okay, I'm not working tonight. My thing is my webcam has been broken for a few weeks, so I had to send it back, and they sent me a new one. Anyway, so thank you, and I appreciate all you guys listening, and all of us being able to talk about all this music industry stuff and guitars and pedals and all sorts of fun stuff. So I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Be good or be good at it.